Let's dig into the first podcast on our list of our top 10 marketing podcasts that you need to listen to. And that is this one, the Honest Marketing Podcast. So in this podcast, if you're new, if you're not familiar with what we talk about, we do interviews, case studies, practical breakdowns around how you can be an ethical marketer online that still gets results for your business. Now, the second podcast on this list of the top 10 best marketing podcasts is The Art of Online Business by Rick Mulready. Now, Rick is a coach of mine. He has coached me as an entrepreneur, and I contribute a lot of the success that I've seen in business to my time spent under his tutelage. And on his show, The Art of Online Business, he works through how to build a successful online business without burning out. And so he primarily coaches online entrepreneurs and digital entrepreneurs, but brings on a lot of experience for traditional businesses as well. Podcast number 3, Marketing Made Simple by StoryBrand. Now, the original StoryBrand, Building a Story Brand with Donald Miller and JJ Peterson, who co-hosts Marketing Made Simple as well, was the first podcast for the StoryBrand business. Now, I'm a huge fan of Donald Miller and his approach to marketing. He really pioneered the idea of making your customer the hero of the story and seeing your business more as the guide, helping them in their own journey, which I know is a really important shift for a lot of business owners to make, that the world does not revolve around you, not in your customers' minds. It revolves around them. Podcast number 4, the Smart Passive Income Podcast with Pat Flynn. Now, this is one of the original marketing podcasts from 8, 9, 10 years ago. And Pat Flynn is one of the premier entrepreneurs in the online education niche. So courses, memberships, coaching, mastermind. He is one of the original entrepreneurs that really brought that into the world. And on his podcast, he really focuses the content on serving those kinds of entrepreneurs, people that sell courses, people that write blogs, people that have media companies that then pivot into products. And he documents his own journey, experimenting with all these different industries, whether it's physical products, online products, content marketing, but really tailor focused for that online entrepreneur. Podcast number 5, The Marketing Millennials. The Marketing Millennials started as a marketing industry email newsletter and then pivoted into podcasting. So if you subscribe to business newsletters like Morning Brew or Marketing Brew, the Marketing Millennials is in a similar vein of that. And so the podcast is essentially a way to have long-form conversations with individuals that are really knowledgeable about their particular industry and bringing that into a more conversational format. And it's done really, really well. If you want to see a media company that's absolutely crushing it on LinkedIn, Marketing Millennials is a fantastic example. LinkedIn kind of being the unicorn for social media as a business owner, especially if you're in a B2B space. And so if you want to see how they create content for LinkedIn, they also have a fantastic LinkedIn profile. The next podcast on our list is Social Media Marketing. So again, this is a podcast that's been around for a long time, social media marketing, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a podcast dedicated to what's working on social media right now. And the reason that's super important is because social media is always changing. It never stays the same. Just when you figure out an algorithm or a post type that works, all of a sudden everything shifts. And now instead of doing carousels, we're doing, short form vertical videos. And then, who knows? Next year it might be long form videos, 10 minutes or longer. But if you want to stay on top of what's working, Social Media Marketing is the podcast that you want to listen to. Now, the next podcast on our list, The Game with Alex Hormozi, is one that I discovered about a year ago. And Alex is just a really interesting individual. It's definitely one of the most practical podcasts that I've ever listened to. And I think the thing that separates this podcast more from the others is Alex does a really good job of digging into the psychology of sales and marketing. So if you're always looking to grow in your understanding of how to be a better salesperson and marketer, whether you are a business owner or somebody on the marketing team at your company, The Game with Alex Hormozi is a really great podcast. The next one is B2B Growth by Sweetfish Media. The reason I put this one in here is because B2B marketing is its own beast. So if you're selling B2C, if you're selling to a mass general audience, selling t-shirts, widgets, iPhones even, then that's a different sales process than business to business, where you are networking, you're making connections. The sales cycles are measured in months or years, not in hours. And so it's just a totally different mindset and perspective when you're trying to excel in that area. And so the B2B Growth podcast is only focused on B2B marketing. Now, the 9th podcast on our list is Akimbo by Seth Godin. And this is not your typical marketing podcast. This isn't necessarily going to have as many practical tactics and strategies, but Seth Godin is one of the godfathers of internet marketing. He was doing email marketing before it was cool, and has had a daily blog that's been going for a long time, probably, one of the biggest blogs in the world, especially business blogs. And Akimbo is essentially him sharing his unique insight and perspective on the world of marketing through stories. And so you're going to hear stories, and he's going to connect dots between things that happen in the real world and business applications. But it's really entertaining, it's really thought-provoking, and it's really going to stretch your thinking. It's really going to stretch your brain. And he has a really great way of weaving all of these things together, where not only are you learning how to be a better marketer, but you're learning how to be a better human. And also, he does a good job of identifying the pitfalls and the traps of certain marketing strategies and methods, and better alternatives. And then the last podcast on our list, number 10, the Think Media Podcast. Now, why is this one on here? The Think Media Podcast is all about YouTube. Think Media is a YouTube channel. It has more than 2 million subscribers, and all that they do is teach people how to succeed on YouTube. So how did that make a list of top marketing podcasts? Because YouTube is becoming more and more important in the internet. So if YouTube is important to you, if it's something that you want to learn about, you want to get started in, you recognize how important it is to your business, then the Think Media Podcast is probably the best podcast about YouTube on the internet. And they not only talk about it through the lens of the creator, but also how to grow your YouTube channel so that way you can convert your online audience into customers. These 10 podcasts are going to give you the whole picture of everything that you need to succeed. We've got YouTube covered. We've got B2B covered. We've got social media covered. We've got the psychology of sales and marketing. We have frameworks and interviews and breakdowns all contained in this list of 10. Well, hey there. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Honest Marketing Podcast. If you want to watch the entire episode, you can click right here and watch it right now. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get new videos every single week.